I'm Miss Betty G, and today I wanted to share with you all some of my reading goals for 2019, along with some goals I have for this channel. I have not had any previous goals set for myself before, so it's going to be really fun to see how everything turns out at the end of the year. The only thing that I did do last year was the reading challenge on Goodreads. I did set myself for 25 books for 2018, which I did complete barely. I just got up to 26 books by the end of the year. So this year I'm not trying to put any kind of pressure on putting a big number out there, so I only did an additional 10 books this year, so 35 books for 2019 for my Goodreads goal challenge. That is the first reading goal that I have for you guys. The other thing I want is to definitely use Goodreads more. I know there are a lot of communities and forums for conversation of different book topics. I have not really explored those as much as I would like to, so that's something I would want to kind of get more involved in the book community through Goodreads, just like I am with YouTube and Twitter. Another goal for this year is going to be to read more big books. Now for me, I have been in a safe zone of 300 to 500 page books, so I would like to do anything that is above 500 pages. I am trying to explore other genres. That's the next reading goal I have for myself. I kind of tend to stick into or go back to historical fiction, fantasy, and memoirs, and I've done a lot of YA this year and contemporary, so I really want to get into horror and sci-fi. I did mention in a previous video that I wanted to try to get back into classic literature, so that is something that I'm gonna at least do minimum of one classic novel a month. So this month I'm doing Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. So I'm looking forward to getting back into classic literature. I did do some classic literature last year. It didn't go very well. I think it was the books that I selected. I tried to read Moby Dick with my book club. I actually tried to read Moby Dick like 3 times. The hard copy, the audiobook, and it did not work out very well. I don't know why. I could not for the life of me get into Moby Dick. Maybe it's the copy that I have that kind of like, because it's really old. Let me grab it. The copy that I have, I don't know, do you guys think that would make a difference in the reading experience? Because I do like to collect old books, mostly because they smell amazing and they're beautiful. But this is a secondhand copy that I found of Moby Dick, and this is the one I was reading. And look at those pages. Can you smell this from there? It smells wonderful. Sorry. So I don't know if maybe that could be a factor as to why I couldn't really get into this novel. Perhaps maybe if I try in a different edition, but I couldn't do the audiobook either. It just for me, it just dragged. It dragged very much, and that was kind of disappointing and depressing, because I did watch a documentary on Herman Melville, which made the book more appealing, but once I tried to read it, even with my book club, we kind of all were like, no, DNF, it's not. We didn't even get to the boat. That's how bad we were. So or how bad it was. So that was discouraging. And also I tried to read Hunchback of Notre Dame, which is another really thick book, and it's just, I couldn't for the life of me get into it. It dragged for me, and which really sucks, because the actual story of Quasimodo is very appealing to me, but it was slow for me. It wasn't going at a pace that I can just get into the book and really connect with it. So those who want to explore other genres, if there are any recommendations, I I have Misery from Stephen King, which I want to do as my first horror novel, which I'll probably do next month. Sci-fi is the one I'm having the most trouble with. So if there are any good sci-fi recommendations, I would definitely appreciate that. Maybe something not too sci-fi-y. I don't, yeah, you know, say, I don't know. Another reading goal I have for myself is to write more reviews. In the beginning of the year, last year, I did tend to write more book reviews on Goodreads, and then I got lazy and I stopped. But I feel like it's important to put your opinion. Some people did use it for feedback as to whether or not they wanted to read that book, or just the fact that it brought it to their attention. So, and also I feel like that's like the least any of us as readers can do for the author, is to tell them what we thought of their book. So definitely going to go back to some of the books that I just put stars, like put my star review but did not write review on there, especially because I want to practice how I explain. I try to explain my thoughts and opinions on the book without providing any spoilers, so it gets a little tricky when you're trying to do it that way, but of course you don't want to spoil the goods for anybody. So writing reviews is definitely going to be an important one for me. Also, doing reviews on here is going to be something I'm going to want to do as well, so expect those. The next goal I have for myself is to use my library more. I definitely feel like I can get through more books if I were to use my library, because there's a lot of books that I want to read, but I'm not sure if I want to invest financially in it yet. I don't know if I'm gonna love it enough to keep it, because I tend to keep my books. I mean, I do also donate, but when I buy a book, I buy it with the expectation of keeping it. I definitely do want to use my library more. I do go to my library to read. I just don't, I take books to my library to read because I like to. I like to read at home. I'm the kind of person where I need it to be quiet. I can't read comfortably when there's noise going on around me. I get distracted really easily. Squirrel. Just kidding. So I get distracted really easily. So when I have, even with music, if I try to listen to music when I'm reading, it has to be instrumental, because just instrumental, because I can't have other words coming in my ear while I have other words coming through my eyes, and then they get tangled up with each other. Does anybody else have this problem? I get a little jealous sometimes, because there are people that can read in any and every environment. I'm not that person, but I do go to my library with my books to be in a different setting that is quiet. I do kind of sometimes go to parks as well, but there's still some distractions there, like people just be quiet. It's like they need to put the reading signs out in public too, like silence is golden, people. That's not just for the movie theaters. Finally, for my last goal for this year, I definitely want to organize my bookshelves. My bookshelves are a hot mess. I have books all over the place that aren't organized in any kind of way, and I have been meaning to also write down every book that I have, because some of you are amazing and have like the greatest memory, but I have the Dory brain. I forget everything. Like, what are we talking about right now? There's been occasions where I have purchased a book that I already have more than once, unintentionally. So I really want to try, and I started, and then that lasted like 2 minutes, and then I got distracted. So I really want to keep track of all the books that I have, make a spreadsheet, and know what I have and what I need, because I also have series that I haven't finished, like the series of Unfortunate Events. I have most of those books, but not all of them, and I forget which ones I have and which ones I need. So when I'm out at a secondhand store, I tend to come across them, but then I don't know if I have it or not, so I don't get them. So I definitely need to get a lot more organized with my bookshelves, with my library, and if you guys have any suggestions on what I can do to organize it or tips, those are definitely welcomed. So please let me know in the comments below. So those are it for my reading goals for this channel. I am new to YouTube. I started just in the beginning of this month. My first video was an unboxing video, and I do intend to do more unboxings on here. I will not be having an unboxing for the month of January because I want to explore other book boxes, and I didn't know which one to go with for January, and I did not renew my crate box for this month. So definitely looking forward to doing an unboxing next month. I'm thinking it's gonna be Coffee and a Classic. That's one I've been really interested in. Also, there's a book club box as well. There's a lot of book boxes, and I kind of want to just try them all at least once. So far I have been releasing videos every Wednesday and Friday, so that looks like it's working for me. I'm not ready to commit to those days because I have commitment issues, so we are dating with Wednesdays and Fridays. Definitely want to do some Booktube tags that I see around all the time. There are some that I have in the works now, so I'm really excited to release some of those. Book reviews, of course, is going to be one thing. I also wanted to shine some light on some backlisted books, which is going to be like a flashback Friday thing. I also want to try and do some book versus movie reviews, and those I think will definitely have to contain some spoilers. So though that is another idea that I have that I'm excited to do for this channel. Other than that, just bookish rants. I'm having a lot of fun so far. I'm looking forward to the rest of this year. I appreciate all of you for your time. I had a lot of great feedback so far, so we'll see how it goes. Thanks everyone for sticking around and listen to me babble. If you like this video, please make sure to hit the like button, and if you want to hear more from me, definitely subscribe to this channel. And I don't want to tell you what to do because that's not my thing, but if you want to hear more from me, please hit the notification bell, because if I don't tell you that, my niece is gonna give me crap. Okay, adios.